Good morning, Warriors. Your boy Garrett J. White, the Master Coach Mentor, coming at you with a wake-up WOD from 24 Hour Fitness here in Ladera Ranch, California. We got a little swim on our hands this morning. Got a nice little 2,000-meter swim. Not a big deal, but a nice little movement experience. But the principle of the day during today's workout is simply this, and that is that the power that you seek for is beneath the surface, not what you think you're seeing with your physical eyes. Now, before we get into today's wake-up WOD, let me remind you one powerful thing. If you have not downloaded the Wake Up Warrior app found for free in the iTunes and Google Play Store, what the hell? Get your ass on over to iTunes and Google Play and download the Wake Up Warrior app today. So again, with that being said, let's jump into today's Wake Up WOD with the principle that the power that you're searching for is beneath the surface and oftentimes can't be seen. Sit back and relax and welcome to today's Wake Up WOD. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple things here in today's Wake Up WOD about the power is beneath the surface from what you can see. So here on the surface, right, see all my boy over here swimming, all that splashing up on top. For most people, they think of swimming itself and the power to swimming is what you see above the water, right? So we see the splashing of the hands up here, the strokes coming in, and all I can see is up here. Yet the truth is, in swimming, the power itself is not how fast the arms are moving up top. It's how powerful the pull is underneath. So my arm is coming out, and on my pull, I'm braking, and I'm pulling through underneath the water. So it looks like this. My arm's forward, pulling, and the power is underneath the water, and it comes in the part of the backstroke on the push when I'm pushing away from my body. So all of my forward motion here and everything I'm seeing above the water is the simple coast into where the power is, which is in the pull. Now again, if I get confused about this, then what I try to do is I try to move my arms really fast on top of the water, not recognizing that the actual power has nothing to do with how fast my arms are moving on top of the water, but how powerful my pull. Now a couple other things to look at when it comes to your pull too. So my pull itself can kind of be a half-ass pull. So I can come in with my pull here and I can quit halfway through the pull. So a lot of people come up, come in this way. A lot of people come up, the pull comes here, and then they fade, pull their arm back out of the water, and go with the next stroke. Instead of pulling through and all the way through. Now, these two different ideas, these two different concepts of not only is the power underneath the water in the pull, but it's also in a complete pull underneath the water. So the same concept that we're seeing here with swimming is a principle that applies to rowing and CrossFit, where people will row their asses off really fast, and yet their pull itself isn't that strong. So the damper on the rower and or their pull as they're leaning back, they're not getting the entire power of the actual movement. So I can sit here and I can frantically in my life struggle to bring about results that I'm wanting by swimming my ass off up on top of the water. Or I can come back and I can create something different, which is I can focus on the place where the power actually exists. Now we can take this even further in our analogy and our comparison, which is this. I can look at my body and I can look at what my body is and I can think, okay, the power inside of me comes from my physicality. And I can look down and I can say, oh yes, look at my body. My body itself is the power. And for a lot of people, when they go about creating and desiring bigger results in their lives, they're looking at the body and they're saying, okay, well that is what I want. The reason that this person's powerful is because the body that they have. We start to get confused also, and we start to believe that our body is who we are. And fitness all of a sudden becomes a drug, but the drug itself is not ultimately giving us the power that we're looking for. The body now becomes the consciousness, and all that we start to notice is the physicality of the wall and our body, and yet what is around me? Look around me here in this pool. What is there more of? Is there more physicality or is there more space? And I'd have you consider that the greatest capacity in your and my life to grow has nothing to do with the physicality of what we see. And yet this tie between where does the power exist is a dilemma that's existed for humankind from the beginning. Forever in my life, particularly because I was so into athletics, I thought again that my identity was found in my body. I thought that what I could see above the surface of the water was what mattered. I could see that what was above the surface of the water was ultimately where my power came from. And yet I was blown away by the fact that I could get super, super fit and still not be confident. I could get super, super powerfully and trained with my body and yet still not have true confidence. And then I started to see individuals who weren't as fit or individuals who were in different games. And I started to see that they had something about them that existed beneath or beyond the body. No matter how powerful I was swimming in the pool, like my boy over here, no matter how powerful I was, at the end of the day, there was something that I was actually looking for in the fitness. That the fitness itself, though it was nice and it was beautiful and it was powerful to get fit, don't get me wrong, I like the fit part. But there was something that I was doing with this body temple that I had. Now, what I want you to consider that I was up to with my body temple was ultimately establishing the beacon. Now, I want you to consider the beacon itself is this temple, this body that you've been given. How you treat it, how you operate with it, how you exist with it, how you feed it, how you fuel it, ultimately determines the access to light and powerful and truth that it flows from life and from the universe and from God through you. So my greatest revelations, my greatest insights, my greatest incantations, my greatest inspirations come about when my body is refined. And this is why, as part of the Warrior's Way, we're constantly preaching to this idea that you must begin to search for the core four. You must begin to search every single day to win the war that ultimately will give you access to the power that you're searching for.
This entire video series here is set up to teach you what I call the Warrior's Way. And what is this? Well, it's a process of going from feeling alone to being a leader. This video series is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak-based individual. It's not for the pussies who are unwilling to look at their lives, who it is for. It's for guys who are trying to have it all.
So this was a really hard concept for me to get for so many years, and that was that I'm not my body. So like many people, I'd be searching for this power, searching for this thing to give me life, and I thought my body was the power. What I realized was that my body was a cable, a channel that allowed for me to circulate light and circulate power through me. But one of the problems is that if this cable, this body was clogged up and filled up with shit and completely dysfunctional, I'd have zero ability to be able to ultimately channel that kind of power. Kind of like as you can see right here on my gas meter, I got 10 miles of fuel left and there's a fuel light that's turned on. Now that's my car's way of saying, hey, listen, jackass, get us some gas, get us some fuel for the fire here. I almost said Ferrari. This is not a Ferrari. This is an X5. We're having a good time in today. So anyways, like as you and I look at fueling up, one of the things I want to introduce you to in today's Wake Up WOD is my green smoothie routine. Because not only do I use swimming and use fitness to uncover this fuel inside and this fire inside, I also fuel up my body a certain way so that I can have the power that I'm speaking about that you can't see. See, my fitness and my food are ultimately what give me the fire and the fuel. So not only does your fitness matter, but your fuel matters. The kind of fuel you put in. You know, my vehicle, if I put in low-grade fuel, my car doesn't operate the same. Can my car operate? Sure. Does it operate as well? Not even close. So for you and I day to day, the question is, what kind of fuel are you putting in your Ferrari, aka your body? If you're just working your ass off, but you're not fueling yourself correctly, you're going to be stuck and screwed anyways, and your body's still going to be the master no matter how much fitness you do. So let's check out what I pick up to drink every single morning. Okay, so let's get a little look-see at what we got going on here. Bananas, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, orange concentrate, apples. All of this mixed up with a little water in the Vitamix, and bam, we got a green smoothie. So let me show you how that works. Welcome to my kitchen. Yes, part of where fitness happens and you fuel the soul. So check it out. Here we go. There's my little green smoothie blender. I use a Vitamix. I threw all that stuff up you saw I got at the grocery store. Now it's time to blend it. Yes, my friends, I will drink this entire 72 ounces. So to summarize today's seemingly very fucking random wake-up vlog, which was kind of all over the place, from the gym, from the pool, to the gas station, to the grocery store, to now here at my home, the baseline message is simply this. Inside of you is a power that cannot be accessed without fitness and food. Meaning how you deal with your body and how you fuel your body will determine the amount of light and power that you are able to access. So if you're sick and tired of your capacity being weak, you're sick and tired of not having it all, you're sick and tired of ultimately being a pussy when you could be a big time player, consider that fitness and your food every single day is the gateway point to having it all. Your body topples into your beingness and your spirituality, topples into the balance of your marriage and your family relationships, topples into your business, how you market, how you sell, and ultimately how you get paid. Regardless of what you choose, though, warrior, remember this, that power in today's marketplace of modern day warrior comes down to the simple formula of authenticity. Be real, get raw, and stay relevant with the ruthless commitment to creating big ass results today.